His 2015 MVP season is the greatest MVP season behind Barry Bonds' of all time.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Hall of Fame or Not. My name is Dante. This is Ben. And today I am going to be giving Ben 5 former/current MLB players that are probably borderline Hall of Famers. Some people might debate that they should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Some people debate, maybe not for one reason or another.
Okay.
So the first player I have for you is someone that is, some people might consider him one of the best baseball players, especially for his position. Some stuff happened throughout his career that's might hold him back from making the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Do you think Alex Rodriguez is a future Hall of Famer?
There's two answers. Mm-hmm. The real answer is no, because everyone who's used PEDs has been blackballed from the Hall of Fame. They've made that very clear. I hope that changes, and I hope he gets in. Does he deserve to be in? Yes. I mean, he's the greatest shortstop of probably our generation. I don't know.
It's tough when I bring up a player that is tied to something like that.
Exactly. I think that's the issue with baseball, because you don't get that with other sports.
Mm-hmm.
In the whole, he's got 117 career WAR, 696 home runs, 295 batting average, 3,000 hits. Like, there's not many players that have ever done that.
Right.
PEDs are not 3 MVPs.
When it comes to a discussion like this, when someone has taken PEDs, I feel like it's just subjective. It's really where you lie on the spectrum of.
And I come from I don't care. Mm-hmm. I think that, especially in that era, like, everyone was doing it. I think it's a little worse for him based on his image when he was playing. I think it was a little worse than some other ones.
Sure.
I want to see him in. I think he deserves to be in. He's said it himself that he knows he won't be in.
Yep. Nice to come to terms with it.
So no, he's unfortunately not a Hall of Famer, but not because of the numbers he put on the field. Just unfortunate how baseball's kind of blackballed these players.
Right. Yeah. Well, like you said, maybe one day that'll change.
Hopefully. I'm hoping.
But for now, Alex Rodriguez will probably stay out of the Hall of Fame. All right. The next player I have for you, current MLB player, current pitcher. He's been hurt. He's been hurt a lot the last few years, but the start to his career was phenomenal, and that's Chris Sale. Current Red Sox pitcher. I don't think I don't think he's dealing with an injury right now. I think he should be healthy to start the season. Fingers crossed. Yep. But yeah, 7-time All-Star, finished top 6 in Cy Young voting 7 times. Yeah. And obviously the last 4 years have been he's been riddled with injuries.
Yeah. He's close. I don't think he's gonna get it.
Mm-hmm. He's 33, so he's getting up there.
Unless he, had 4 like really good years and gets like a Cy Young. Like that's another thing. He doesn't have a Cy Young.
Right.
He only has All-Stars. His WAR isn't there. His wins and losses are good. His ERA is good. I just don't see any realm of possibility that Chris Sale wins a Cy Young at this point in his career. And I don't think that he will ever be able to get in without a Cy Young.
Sure. So I think Chris Sale is a classic case of Hall of Very Good.
Yeah.
But
I think even that might be a stretch, though. I think there's a lot of guys over him that would make the Hall of Very Good before he does. Like Corey Kluber would, is like they rank on similarity scores pretty closely.
It's tough. It's tough. He did a lot for the Red Sox. 2018. I always remember him for that.
Yeah, I can't see it without a Cy Young, and even just one Cy Young, I still don't think it's enough. So
all right.
Unfortunately, a no.
0 for 2 so far.
Yeah.
Tough. You hate to see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Next player I have for you is another pitcher. He is a rival of the Red Sox. He is someone that has had a very good career thus far, but there was a certain sticky situation going on in the MLB that he was the face of, and that is Mr. Garrett Cole.
I think this is another case of Hall Very Good. Mm-hmm. He's a year younger. He has an ERA title, which I think holds more value than anything Sale has. Doesn't have a ring.
Also 32, so he
is 32.
Not on the younger side, but he's 32. Not old.
I'm not a huge Garrett Cole fan.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is a great pitcher. I think he's one of the better pitchers in the league. He hasn't looked as good in New York as he looked in Houston, and say what you want about why and whatnot. Yep. And I'm big on the whole Garrett Cole was good because of sticky stuff. I don't unless he wins a Cy Young or 2 by the end of his career. I don't. His WAR is even lower than Sale's is. I think, right? Yeah, it's a lot lower than Sale's. It's 12 points lower than Sale's.
Okay.
He's a higher ERA than Sale. Again, I don't see a realm where he can make it in without a Cy Young or two. So if he pitches another 6-7 years and does really well and gets that WAR up and gets a Cy Young, maybe I can see it, but I can't see it. He had a great peak in Houston, and I think even in Pittsburgh, like, he was a really good pitcher, but yep. I don't see it.
Next player I have for you is a former player, not current.
Former, okay.
He retired 10 plus years ago, but icon, especially for the Boston Red Sox. This player, I'm going to just throw some stats to you. I'm sure you'll figure out who this is. 12-time All-Star, 2-time World Series champ, World Series MVP, 9-time Silver Slugger, 2,500 career hits, 555 home runs. Manny Ramirez. Manny.
Manny's a Hall of Famer.
He's another guy that's been tied to PEDs and stuff, but
it's small.
So small.
It's
very
not
small
to the level of everyone else. 69.3 career WAR. I mean, as you said, 555 homers. He hit 3. I think
he's a legend.
I think he's the greatest right-handed hitter of all time.
Really? I love that. I
mean, I think him and Pujols are up there together. Pujols has longevity over Manny does. The things that Manny did. 1998. This is before he even got to Boston. He had 145 RBIs. Next year, he had 165 RBIs. This is with 45 home runs, 44 home runs. He's got accolades. He's got 12 All-Stars. He has 9 Silver Sluggers, a batting title, 2 World Series, a World Series MVP. Unfortunately, he doesn't have an MVP, which I think, somewhere along the lines, I think he definitely deserved it. Yeah, I think he's a for sure Hall of Famer. I don't think the PEDs will hold him out. To put this in perspective, basically on Baseball Reference, they have Hall of Fame standards and whatnot. The average Hall of Famer has a 50 score. He has 69, which is 17th.
Okay.
So yeah, I think he's easily in a Hall of Fame. He had a 39.97 year peak WAR. Incredible player. Similar batting scores. Frank Thomas, Jimmy Fox, David Ortiz, Miguel Cabrera, Ted Williams, Ken Griffey Jr., Gary Sheffield, Mickey Mantle, Jim Thome, Chipper Jones, all Hall of Famers. So
that's good company right there. Okay,
Hall of Famer.
That's the first one.
First
Hall of Famer we got.
Easily.
I got one last player for you.
Okay.
Current player. Now, this one's going to be a little tricky because this is kind of just based off of how you think his career is going to play out.
Okay.
30 years old, but he has accomplished a lot in his 10 years. 2-time MVP, Rookie of the Year, 7-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger. Recently was on the Philadelphia Phillies, who just made the World Series. Bryce Harper. He's very young. He debuted at age 19.
See, that's the crazy part about Bryce. If you look at his career, if you look at the years he's played in his career, you're like, wow, he's up there in age. But now, he was 19 when he debuted. So
he was an All-Star at 19.
I mean, he was called him the chosen one on Sports Illustrated, which was only given to LeBron James. Yeah, 2 MVPs. His 2015 MVP season is the greatest MVP season behind Barry Bonds' of all time.
Wow.
I mean, he had 42 home runs. He had a 460 OBP, 649 slug, which was good for a 1.109 OPS plus on a not great Washington team either. He was one of those guys that was so hyped and so hated almost because he was so, I don't want to say overhyped, because he never really, there was certainly some years where he didn't live up to his potential and hype, mostly due to injury. He was so overhyped that he has now, the past few years, become underrated because people just never gave him the respect for how good he really was.
I mean, you look at the seasons where he's healthy, the seasons that he's playing 140 plus games, the stats show that he's one of the best players.
Yes.
Obviously, when you have the 58 game season.
And it really feels like he has hit his peak. It feels like we are just entering Bryce Harper's peak, which is crazy to say. Probably would have won MVP last year as well if he didn't get hurt.
Yep.
Which would have been 3, which would have tied Mike Trout for number of MVPs.
And that's someone who a lot of people say would be a Hall of Famer.
I don't want to compare Bryce and Trout. I don't want to do it. But if we're being honest with ourselves, Bryce Harper has 2 MVPs. Mike Trout has 3 MVPs. Bryce Harper has played on big stages, performed on big stages. We haven't seen Mike Trout do it. And I don't want to get ostracized for this because I think Mike Trout is the greatest baseball player to ever walk this planet. I just don't think Bryce Harper gets the respect that he deserves. I think we're starting to see the best point of his career, and I think, he's gonna start hitting his stride again, especially when he comes back. He's really matured into his baseball self. From a physical standpoint, I think his swing has calmed down. He's kind of really figured out his approach, and I think he's going to end up fulfilling his prophecy of the chosen one.
Yep.
I think that someday when it's all said and done, I think he will end up being a first ballot Hall of Famer.
There you go.
Incredible player. I love Bryce Harper. I have a soft spot for Bryce Harper in my heart.
What's the injury that he's dealing with right now?
UCL.
Okay.
Yeah. So he played through it last year because he just DH'd. This year has to get fixed. So he's going to miss a little time this year.
But
he's halfway to 500 homers. He's halfway to 3,000 hits.
Only 30. Still
only 30.
By the time he's back, he'll be 31, but still.
Exactly. And then even when he's getting older, he's just going to DH.
Yep.
I mean, he was playing JUCO baseball as a high schooler because he was too good for high school.
That's impressive,
he wanted
bro.
To play JUCO.
That's impressive.
He's a Hall of Famer easily to me.
All right. There you go. So out of the 5 I gave you, we had 2 Hall of Famers. Bryce and Manny.
3 talent Hall of Famers.
Alex Rodriguez, like you said, it was kind of yes or no. I mean, that's kind of up to what MLB does with people that use PEDs. But guys like Garrett Cole, they still have time. So we'll see. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, put in the comments what type of videos you would like to see us do next. Let us know if you believe these players are Hall of Famers or not. Check out all of our other content on this channel and other platforms as well. TikTok, Twitter. Look up Clutch Points. We're there. I think that's a video, Ben. Till next time. Peace out.